Hello there, fellow fans of Hollow Knight. In case you missed it, I recently posted on my community tab here on YouTube about Team Cherry logging into their Kickstarter account. Obviously, that doesn't mean much at all, they do log in every few months, and it was such a minor thing that I chucked a quick screenshot up for those interested. Now, the comments I got, it did actually make me question, am I a stalker? While I only found out about their recent login from a Reddit post, I did check their Kickstarter account for myself to corroborate, so I can't really put myself on some moral high horse because it wasn't me who discovered it. So let's address the elephant in the room. Are we, as fans, and not all fans, but certainly some fans, crossing a line when we constantly check updates on our favourite game developers? It's a question worth asking, and I think it's important to have a discussion about it. Firstly, let's remember that game developers like Team Cherry are people too. They deserve privacy and respect just like anyone else. While it's natural for fans to be excited and curious about the progress of their favourite games, we must remember to respect the personal boundaries of all individuals that have any association with Silksong. Checking a public Kickstarter account for updates is one thing, however, obsessively monitoring every movement can easily cross into stalking territory. Some people wrongly believe that stalking is just about the physical act of following someone, but it can also refer to obsessively tracking their online activities, which is something that we all should not be doing. In my opinion, and please do let me know if you disagree, it's fair game to seek out and discuss public-facing information that pertains to Silksong or Team Cherry, or any game or game dev studios for that matter. The line is crossed when you go beyond the game and start looking into the individuals themselves. It's genuinely interesting to me to see that Team Cherry recently logged into their Kickstarter account when we know certain backers are due a free copy of Silksong. I like that little feeling of could it be excitement? Do I care who it was specifically who logged in and where from and with what email? No, not at all. I quite literally thought, oh cool, posted a screenshot and carried on with my day. There was an instance, I believe last year, where someone just rocked up to Team Cherry's office and managed to grab a picture with Arian William, and I spoke about it at the time, but I was surprised to see so many positive comments when I would have been absolutely terrified if I was in their position. I think the guy was working in the same building at the time, but they're also not the only person who's visited without an invite. If there was a sign outside the building, then fair enough, but this was next to what looked like an internal door with the Team Cherry logo, and I say that as someone who took a photo of the Rockstar North office when I just happened to walk past it in Edinburgh. It's a cool looking building. I just wouldn't have wanted to bump into anyone working there just because I'm excited for GTA 6. As someone who covers Silksong news updates and anything noteworthy, it's part of my job to stay informed and share updates with you all. However, something I feel a little bit slimy about is checking to see what Leth has said in the Hollow Knight Discord. I'm in two minds about it, so I'd love to hear your thoughts. Unfortunately, he has become somewhat of a beacon of communication for Team Cherry, kindly going beyond his role to interact with the community, so I understand searching for his comments to see if there's anything new. But also, I now know that his favourite type of potato is mashed potato, which is an awful choice if I do say so myself, but not the point. I shouldn't know this. And while it's a harmless tidbit of Leth lore, it does make me question my life choices. Before the critical comments roll in, do remember that he is well aware that people will read into everything he says and will often poke fun at that. I also see a huge difference between fans making jokey, light-hearted predictions off a comment and news outlets who churn out absolute garbage articles and don't care at all about the game they're reporting on, not naming any names because I don't want my video taken down like Fireborn's was. Anyway, back to Leth, and ignoring the hesitant voices in my head right now, I did want to highlight something that he said recently in the Discord about how he'd been doxxed before while streaming, which obviously sucks to hear. As a content creator who's been doing this for over 10 years, I've also had my fair share of online stalkers, which is so fun in the UK because our police do not care at all, can't do anything, and won't even file a report if you ask. That's irrelevant though. The point that I want to make is you could have 1 million fans or just 10 fans. It only takes one bad apple to cross into stalking territory. And before anyone suggests it, it doesn't come down to lack of communication either. Team Cherry could be sending updates daily or once a decade. Bad eggs are bad eggs, and their behaviour is on them and no one else. They are not at fault for someone else's behaviour. This isn't to say that we should stop being fans or stop showing support for our favourite devs, but let's do so in a way that respects their privacy and personal space. They all deserve to work in peace. Before ending the video, I think it's important to offer a quick definition of stalking. So, stalking refers to the act of obsessively following and watching someone over a period of time, often with the intent to harass or intimidate them, and that kind of behaviour is considered a criminal act in many jurisdictions. Call me naive, but I'd like to think that the majority of fans aren't intending to harass or intimidate anyone. Even with the people who have dropped by the Team Cherry office, I hope it's just because they're acting thoughtlessly, because they're blinded by excitement. I'm also pretty sure that the people who commented on my post weren't being serious, but it did inspire this video, which covers an important topic, relevant to anyone who's a fan of any games, really. I have so many friends within the gaming industry who have been the victim of harassment, doxing, death threats, and worse. It's just too much, so I'll take any opportunity to speak on it. As a community, let's call it out when someone goes too far. Let's focus on the game, not the individuals. That's just my thoughts, so if you made it this far, thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.